I don't think sameness is the concern that folks have. I think that there's a couple of complexities that require experience, and novelty doesn't overcome it. The first is looking at it through the eyes of both the builder and the buyer. And I think people that have played on both sides of that fence, it's sort of like a salesperson and the buyer in the room at the same time. One is selling, the other is buying. Their perspectives are inherently and somewhat going to be inverse, because even if we love everything together, I still want a low price and you want a high price. So the ability to see things from both sides, builder and buyer, is one thing. The second thing is when you operate at ground level, it's hard to know at what level of abstraction should I be observing myself. So if I lost three deals in a row, is it a problem or not a problem? And I think some people would just like to talk to somebody to say, why'd you lose? Let's just go through. And if you get the same message from all three, where your message is a little bit maybe confusing, then you might want to take stock and step back. And if it was on price and you're knowing that you're not going to be low price, then maybe you don't worry about it. So I think there are certain things that are judgment that has to have experience attached to it. And you can't build a system, and there's no mathematical formula. There's no formulaic approach in general to certain types of problems. And I think people, a lot of founders and startups like having a few folks around that have various types of experience that they can bounce things off. And I think that's a new model. When I was the CEO of a startup, and most people don't realize I was the CEO of a Sequoia-backed startup a while back, it was a very different model. Like, you relied heavily on your board or yourself or your prior experience. And so when the average age of someone at the time I took the CEO job at a startup, I was 40. I had way more experience than some of the founders today that are in the game in their mid 20s. So it's just different. And so now I think that there's much more novelty, much more energy, a lot more creativity, but a lot less experience. And so I think the system has sort of worked to fill around that so that people can say, hey, there's some perspectives that I'm not going to have at my level of experience. And I just want to talk to some people who can take an abstraction and look at this thing from the outside in.